Welcome back to the Max Your Dash podcast. Thank you for listening, liking, sharing, and now watching. We are the number one personal finance podcast in the entire world. I'm Steve, your host. Nate, you're here with us. Mark. We've got a Mark full time now. For all our listeners, Mark is going to be here every time. We've employed his full services.
It's a three-headed monster.
He said he liked that better. I was like, dude, you're going to be in here every time. He's like, good. Okay, that's what I want, just so I know. Is it on the calendar so you know, like, if you're...
That was more of the reason. It was on my calendar every time, but I didn't know if I was in the podcast.
Not that you wanted to be in here.
You love, though, when you get, like, a surprise free hour.
Ends up getting wasted, but yeah.
Hey, guys. What's going on? It's January 18th.
Okay.
What's going on?
What's going on in the world?
No, how are you?
Really cold.
It's freezing outside.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, how about this? We were dying laughing at this. So DeAndre Ayton, you guys know who he is? He's a center for the Suns. He got traded to Portland. He was out yesterday from the game because he couldn't get out of his driveway. They sent people from the Trailblazers team to help him out of the driveway. The designation was literally icy driveway. He was out for the game yesterday. What the hell? You imagine Diggs not being able to go to the playoff game because he couldn't get out of his drive. There was 5 inches of ice.
How much money does he make?
Millions.
He should have a heated driveway.
Why didn't he just walk out of the neighborhood and then someone pick him up on the road?
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, isn't that hilarious, Midget?
They did have to do that for one of the Bills. Someone had a baby.
Last year they had...
No, this year. Someone had a baby and they had to do something.
Dude,
they've had like people like pick guys up in tractors to like get them to the stadium.
Dude, that is so...
I think Buffalo's gotten like 6 feet of snow in the last week.
Hey, let's do Max Your Dash moments because I think that I know what yours is going to be. Max Your Dash moment is a time that you were feeling true joy and fulfillment. We start every episode with some good news, some good stuff that's happening. Mm-hmm. Nate, I think we all know what yours is going to be after the first round of the playoffs.
Sure.
Or do you got something better?
Yeah. No, the Bills won their wild card matchup. We're going to the divisional round. We've got an opportunity this Sunday to like
say in the camera, go Bills. We got a lot of Bills fans.
Go Bills. But this is an opportunity to like finally slay some bad dragons
in the Kansas City.
Right. Get a playoff victory over Kansas City would be a huge
They're on the road
thing. Obviously they still need to win it all, but
dude, I love Kansas City, Buffalo football. They give you a good game every time. It's just amazing football.
Yeah, they've played a lot.
That game where they were the 13 seconds where they drove down in that playoff game, I think I was jumping off the walls. It was an insane game.
You're not going to have a team like the Eagles didn't show up for their football game.
No.
They weren't there. That's not going to happen. They might not be like this crazy high scoring game, but they're going to show up and play. I don't know what the hell the Eagles did. They weren't playing football. Like,
it was just
the playoffs are amazing.
Playoffs are amazing.
This weekend is like I think the best round.
Yeah, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday going into.
And they're just great matchups.
So good.
You're not going to get like a.
Actually, NFC though doesn't really excite me.
I bet you it'll surprise you. I think you're going to be surprised.
So the most expensive tickets right now are the Detroit LA game. An average ticket price is $1,100.
Wow.
Or Detroit. Who's Detroit playing? Green Bay.
No. Detroit's playing. They're home. Who the hell they have?
Tampa.
Oh yeah, Tampa.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. What's your Max Your Dash?
Mine would be the same, but for the Packers,
that is arguably bigger.
They have more wins in that stadium in the playoffs than the Cowboys do. I think that they're like next to undefeated against the Cowboys in that stadium. It's hilarious. They just completely own the Cowboys in their own stadium, and that was a huge upset. And I mean, I picked the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl.
Right, you did, yeah. So, for everyone listening, Mark's a Packers fan, and we did like a bracket challenge where we choose all the playoff wins, and Mark didn't even have Green Bay beating Dallas. Your bracket's like busted.
It's terrible. It's terrible. At least I didn't pick Miami though.
How about they're still keeping Mike McCarthy though? That's insane.
Are they though?
Yeah, they came out and said they're sticking.
And he has
with
won
him.
12 games 3 years in a row. It's
so
pretty
bad.
good, but I mean, I don't know how they just crumble as soon as they get the playoffs.
What about Dak? Are they going to keep Dak?
Probably. Yeah,
he's got another year on his contract.
He even said he should be on the hot seat, which he should. A pick six and an interception, almost pick six is like insanity. But yeah, go Pack. Go Pack, go. Mine is also football, but I'm an Eagles fan. They lost. I just love the playoffs. The energy I get with like all my friends and everyone just loving the playoffs on the weekend is just a great month of football. Just the January and February are just awesome. I love it.
I do think we're at like severe risk of both NFC games being total blowouts.
Yeah.
Which they've to this point, I would say the games haven't been the greatest games
Right.
in the playoffs. Obviously, I loved the Packers and Bills both winning the way they did, but they weren't the best games ever to watch. But I mean, just like I was last week, I'm expecting the Packers to lose by double digits this week. They are owned.
You can't really
he does. We call it the reverse jinx.
This time
reverse
there's
jinx yourself.
a lot more data that supports what
I
I'm
would agree
saying.
with that, but
it's.
I think they're still gonna. I think they're gonna hold their own, at least for a decent chunk of the game. I think.
I mean, a one score loss to me would be a victory. Like if they keep it that close, that would be a victory.
You're not supposed to be here right now.
Right.
All right, Max Your Dash moments out of the way. Go playoff football.
Go Bills.
We got a cool episode for you guys today. We're going to talk about, as money manager, financial planners, wealth management advisors, how many years do the three of us have combined working in it? I think I'm at
2008.
I think I'm at like 6 years now.
2008 to 2024. I'm at the midpoint of this year. I'll be at, what is that math? 16 years? No. What am I? 2008 to 2024. Why can't I do
That's
math?
10. No, you're at,
16 years?
Yeah, I'm at 12.
Oh my God, I'm old.
So 28. We're at like 35. Between the three of us, we have 35 years of experience, and we're not that old.
Yeah.
Dude, you just made me feel old.
No, you're not old at all. Dude, you have 16 years of
16
experience
years?
something in the same thing, and you're in your 30s. That's crazy. But the point is, the three of us have 36 years of experience in this stuff. We came together and said, these are the 3 habits, money habits you need to build this year. And if you do that, you will be successful. Your money life will be changed if you follow these 3 habits.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it here first. Now, are there other habits that aren't on here? Yes, but these are, we think, like very foundationally to having a good money life.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
Let's ride.
Habit 1. And these aren't in order of importance, just to let you know, but habit 1.
Do you want me to say it?
Go ahead.
Automation. And we have a saying in this business, you need to pay yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, what does that mean? Pay yourself first.
I would say that's definitely number one.
Oh, you would say importance?
Automating is gotta be number one. Yeah. You shouldn't have, I don't think you should have to think about this stuff month in and month out if you have it automated correctly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, your bills are on auto pay. You've got money going into different accounts for different purposes automatically. You're automatically
you should never
saving.
have to manually pay one of your bills.
Right.
Maybe your credit card.
No.
Right.
Because it could vary month to month a little
The
bit.
only one I have to is my water and sewer bill. I have to pay it manually every
Why?
quarter. They it's either check or online payment. They don't. It's not
ACH? No ACH?
No.
Oh, that's crazy.
I would
It is
forget
really
something
annoying.
like that.
It's really annoying.
So I think that is funny you guys bring that up, because whenever I think about us automation, pay yourself first, I like skim over the bills part, because I'm like, that's just like, you should just have that, is just having your bills automated. Because I think about like the savings and the investing. You should be paying that like you're paying a bill. You always say that. It's like, you're going to pay your mortgage payment. Why are you not treating savings the same way? It's optional.
Yeah. You should, so that when we say pay yourself first, it's making you, like you make all your other bills, you have a set amount every month that gets automatically drafted into an investment account for you, or your savings account.
Savings account.
And it should come out before you have the opportunity to go and spend that money.
Right when you get paid.
So you get paid on the 15th.
It's really like not complicated either. It's, you know, all of your fixed expenses, what they are every single month. And then what do you need to be saving on top of that? That's all fixed, goes into one account. It's automatically going there every 2 weeks or however often you get paid. Done.
Yeah.
You're done with that account.
If you want to put $500 a month into a taxable brokerage account, every time you get paid, if you get paid twice a month, you put $250 into the account. That's how you do it.
Not complicated.
Yeah.
But the problem is a lot of people, they spend first and then try to save what's left.
Yep.
And that's, if you're doing it that way, you're doing it wrong. You need to save first and then spend what's left.
Yep. Exactly. Why do you guys think though, like, this is the weird psychology part, is like, people set up their 401k in the percentage and they don't think about it. Like, why don't they set up the rest of their stuff like that? Like, they almost think the 401k is a requirement, but the savings into your savings account per paycheck and the savings into a taxable account or an IRA is like optional. But the 401k you set up and it does that, and they're like, oh yeah, this is what I get paid. They almost probably forget about it unless they're looking at their pay stub. You know what I mean? But they think about it as like a requirement, but you're automating that. That's like the biggest automated thing you do probably that you don't even realize.
Yeah.
But blame parents.
It'd be a cool benefit to offer. Yeah. Imagine if employers started offering a benefit where you could just payroll deduct into a savings account, just like you do your 401k.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of nice.
You payroll deduct everything. Well, do you guys have clients do that sometimes? Is like actually not like, we're talking about the automated of like move from your checking account when you get paid. I have some clients that go to their payroll and have it deducted right from their paycheck with their 401k. That's legit.
That's ideal.
Yeah, we have so let's talk about that. So there's a strategy where we can actually, basically you open up a checking account for a client that you would then take to your HR and you'd say, I want $500 a month going into this account. Just like, I mean, a lot of our listeners, you probably have deposits going into more than one account, but then that checking account funds all your investment accounts.
Right.
So it feels just like your 401k. It came right out of your paycheck. You never had the chance to spend it, and it just gets distributed from there.
Was Matt the actual one that created that strategy? I think he would say the financial the two banking system.
I have no clue.
Did he? I always thought in my mind Matt was the one that created.
Might have been the first ever.
The two banking. All right, that's the first one. Habit one: automation. Pay yourself first. If you're listening to this and you don't have something like that, if you're a client of ours, you definitely do, because we have gone over that probably a million times. But you should have everything automated: bills, savings, investments. Everything should be coming out exactly like we just said.
Yeah.
Habit two.
Oh, you want me to?
You're ripping these.
So habit number 2 is, shocker, the monthly finance meeting.
Ever heard of it?
We need to get like T-shirts made.
Monthly finance.
What is the monthly finance meeting, right? So if you're a client of ours, we really try to train our clients to be doing this. The purpose of it is that you have a time blocked every month. It should be on your calendar when you're going to review your finances. And I will say, like, I think this is really beneficial to all human beings, but especially like married couples, because in my experience, even just in my own, my spouse and I, couples don't talk money well, oftentimes. Like, it's kind of rare if you meet a couple that's like completely on the same page with finances. This should be a meeting that they do together so that everyone is on the same page. That will lead, I know there'll probably be some difficult discussions in that meeting, but that's okay. That's actually good. And couples who are more on the same page with their money are going to probably have a healthier marriage. I think I mean, I'm totally making this up, but I think like the number one cause of divorces is money related. So the monthly finance meeting is so crucial. What we cover in that meeting is a couple things. One is you need to review your budget for last month, right? So if I would encourage people to like do this like on the first week of every month. You put on your calendar that, Thursday night I'm going to do this, and you review last month's budget and just really highlight like what categories did you not do well and set goals for the next month ahead, right? So that's part of it. Review the budget. Review the balance sheet. So you should be updating your balance sheet every month. Mark, what does that mean?
Well, hopefully it's automatically being done for you, but that's your updating your assets and liabilities every month and seeing well, I guess this would be a net worth statement. Similar concept though. But basically tracking your worth is the way I think about it and how it's changing month over month. So assets, well, ours are updated automatically. So I'm thinking about it in that terms, but
you should how is it calculated?
Your assets
versus net worth. How is the net worth calculated?
Assets minus liabilities.
What are you guys laughing at?
Equals net worth. And you want to see that that hopefully is growing.
Why do you think it's important that people actually track their balance sheet every month?
Why do I think it's important?
Yeah, what do you think that the benefit to doing that is?
Well, it's a tracking system for progress overall, but I also do think that there's like net worth or balance sheet tracking. If you're the client that's still focused on, let's say, paying down debt versus growing your investments, that is still going to show your progress.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like that's a new or one of the ways to get the satisfaction or out of this tracking or goal progress or whatever you want to call it is that. So you can grow your net worth or balance sheet your net worth two ways, right? You can increase your investments or decrease your debt.
Yeah.
So it just applies to everyone. I think that's why it's so important. Well, it doesn't matter how rich you are or how poor you are. It applies to everyone.
A lot of our clients are investing and paying down debt at the same time. And that's like being able to see the progress on that. I like thinking about it this way. The balance sheet and tracking your net worth is like the physical for your finances. I think it's the best overall indicator of, a broad view of the health of your finances.
Yeah. I like that. Like at the end of the day, for people to be really good with their money, you have to make smart decisions with your money. And that's a daily thing, right? We spend money daily. So it's my belief that if you track your budget every month and you review how you did there, and then you're also updating your balance sheet every month, your awareness is heightened, and therefore you're going to make better decisions with your money on a daily basis. If you don't do those things, you're just unaware and you're just like avoiding it, and that we know where that leads most likely. So I think that's really why it's so important is it's to have the highest level of awareness so that you can be intentional. Make better decisions.
You got to be more intentional with your spending.
If you're a client of ours and you're part of our financial planning program, we're making this pretty hard for you to not do. I mean, the steps are really simple. We're giving you a balance sheet.
5 minutes so far.
Well, we were giving you a balance sheet every month.
Yeah.
Every Saturday morning, you're getting an email showing this net worth change you're spending for the month where you're at.
Yep.
And then the budgeting tool itself literally has bars that shows your progress.
Right. Yep.
And you can go back and show
it. And there's a little bit of manual labor that goes into making sure the data is right.
Yeah.
But once you get into the swing of things, you're talking about to review your budget and your balance sheet. You're talking about maybe 20 minutes.
Right. Like because of the systems we have in place, we're asking you to commit 20 minutes per month.
Right.
To do this.
Oh, and by the way, if you have everything automated, it's a lot easier to track.
Then all you're tracking is your variable expenses.
Right, exactly.
It's super simple.
So there's two more things in the monthly finance meeting. So we've covered, you got to review your budget, you got to review your balance sheet, review your goals, right? So you should have goals and update progress towards those things. That's pretty straightforward. And then lastly, the last thing you want to always do is create a to-do list for the next month. And so when you get to the next month's meeting, review how'd you do on your to-do list, right? And that's important because I've noticed like doing it with mine. Like the other day, I was going through my transactions and budget, and I noticed I've been paying every month for like a Kindle subscription that I never use.
Yeah, Kindle.
Yeah, I had one from like forever ago. I literally just found this the other day. I'm like, wait, what is this $8 a month thing and whatever?
Nate on a Kindle.
So
I've never seen a Kindle at his house anywhere. I've never seen one.
Nicole bought it for me like years ago, but. So anyway, that's like a great thing where you throw that in the to-do list. Nate, cancel your Kindle subscription or whatever, right? And that's how you can hold yourself accountable to doing some of these little things. So, but if you do the monthly finance meeting every month, we've talked about this on this pod a lot, but if you just do that every month, I don't know how you don't get better with your money.
Right.
Like it's just that simple.
Yeah. You said do it for a whole year.
If there was one thing, just do it for a whole year. Don't even care how good you did every month. Just make sure you do the monthly finance meeting.
Yeah.
And you can, by the way, we wrote a blog on this. If you just Google monthly finance meeting -capital, you'll find it. And it's just a quick read and it walks you through the agenda of how to do it. But so important, especially for married couples.
Yep. So habit 2 is for a whole year, track your finances.
By the way, I think we should actually keep habit 3 and a bonus habit that he threw out.
Bonus habit.
Now that I'm thinking about this.
So habit 3, we'll do the original habit.
Let's do it.
Okay. So we talked about this too, but setting up your environment. Overwhelm your senses with positive money talk.
Yes. So what do we mean by that? Like in 16 years of practicing a financial advisor, I've met a lot of people that don't have good money habits, and they set budgets and they still don't follow through. And then they set even sometimes like good accountability. They'll have the monthly finance meeting on their calendar and they still don't follow through. And then eventually 3 or 4 or 5 months down the road, they just kind of give up. I think for you to change who you were before, you have to rewire your brain, right? And in my experience, like anytime I'm trying to grow at something, whether it's money or health or whatever, if the more I listen and watch things that are who I'm trying to become, the more my brain grows in that area, the more likely I am to actually become that person. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Mark, this is making me think of something. I remember remember that workbook you created years ago, the Clear Heart, whatever. Something in there was about the amount of hours you need to spend learning a new subject. Do you remember that at all? Dude, we got to find.
I remember what you're talking about.
Everyone gets the point. If you're trying to get better at something, there's like a certain amount of hours that you need to like consume of.
Wasn't that from Darren Hardy?
I think it might have been, but so nowadays, like we're not necessarily the biggest fans of like following TikTok accounts on personal finance of people that you have no clue where they're, but there's so much good information out there that you can follow on your social media, like our social media.
Yep. Mm-hmm. This podcast. But like if you listen to a podcast every week for the year on money,
do you think by the end of the year you're better with money or worse with money?
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah.
So I just think if you're really trying to make that change this year, that's a big deal. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
No,
that's a classic Nate thing.
Yeah. 100% agree. But because you can, dude, you the way that you think about this, because people like separate money, but like the easiest example I could think about is if you want to get in shape and you want to start exercising. What does that person usually do? They're consuming all that finance content or all that like good habits from a dieting standpoint. They're learning how to maybe diet. They're learning new exercises, looking up like the person who just starts working out is like consuming so much of that content and they're surrounding about it.
They're watching motivational videos.
Exactly. That's what you do, but people don't do that with their money.
Yeah. And it's out there on YouTube and Spotify and social media. There's a lot of good stuff. Maybe we should put together a list
especially
of
Dash Capital. Oh yeah, the best stuff. Yeah.
Well, just so like the results of the monthly finance meeting could be bad, right? Especially this month, right? You're looking at your December. If you're looking back at the last few months, you probably spent more money than your budget said you should have. And it's easy to get like really down on yourself about that or whatever. If you do that, that's going to make you not want to do the next monthly finance meeting. So I think that's the point of this is like, okay, you had a shitty month.
Keep the motivation going.
Right. Yeah. How can you like take that and turn it into a positive moving forward? And that's the to-do list, right? Yeah. Like I know I have like this monthly finance meeting that I'll have with myself at the end of this month. I know that I spent a lot of money on bourbon. It's just that time of year. And
dude, how do you need more?
I don't know the real number, but I want to know what it is. So then it's like, okay, I know what I kind of budget myself monthly for the whole year on bourbon, but I got some higher end stuff because it's that time of year.
Yeah.
But also it's the end of the holiday season. Like everyone's probably having a rough monthly finance meeting in January.
Can you talk to this point? Because I think people have a lot of problems with this in life and with this is when they know, like Mark said, it was a bad because the holidays, New Year's, they stay away from it. Yeah. They don't want to see it and they avoid it when you should be doing the opposite. Like they don't want to look at their budget because they know December they overspent, over January overspent. Like you overspent on bourbon. You don't want but you're gonna go look at that number.
Yeah.
But people hide from it, especially in their money because they don't want to see how bad it is.
Yeah. Well, that's why if you look at these 3 habits, automate, pay yourself first, do the monthly finance meeting, and listen to or watch a money talk thing weekly. Nothing about that is saying it like success shouldn't be based on how much money did you save or not save. It's did you do the first domino, right? Did you I mean, even if you're just automating $20 a month into a savings account, I don't care how small it is necessarily. Did you automate?
Yeah.
Right? And if you did that for a whole year, if you did the monthly finance meeting for a whole year, if you did listen to a podcast every week about money, and you're what's going to happen is we always talk about progress over perfection.
Yep.
That's the issue is that people they get excited about a goal of like, oh, this is the year I'm going to save so much. And then first quarter you get through it and you're like, oh, I'm off track. I'm giving up. You lose that motivation. Focus on the first domino, which is those 3 things, and don't beat yourself up about being perfect. I promise you 12 months from now, 18 months from now, 36 months from now, if you do those controllables, there's no way you don't get better.
You can control all these things.
And I think that's something that people struggle with is like taking their goals and bringing it back to the first thing that if I do this, it's so controllable, everything else becomes easier.
Right.
And if you like this, the format that we're talking about right now is simple on purpose, and it doesn't need to be complicated. Otherwise, you get this paralysis by analysis. Like I had a couple of bad months of spending. I'm going to go through every single line item on my budget, and you go too far with it. You end up never getting anything done. This should be simple. Automate it, track it, learn more about it, and it's not that complicated, and it doesn't need to be.
Shouldn't be,
to be. This doesn't need to be the finance 500 level type of thing. This should be simple.
Yeah, I always love the saying, I never lose, I either win or I learn. Like if you have a bad month and you learn from it, that's a win.
Right.
If you just avoid, all right, I failed, so I'm going to not do a monthly finance meeting this month because I don't want to see the results, that's losing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so habit 3, overwhelm your senses with positive money talk. Set up your environment to succeed. Habit 4, we got a bonus habit.
I think we call this more of a challenge.
A challenge, yeah.
A really powerful challenge.
Mark thought of this, and this was a good idea, and we kind of put our heads together. Mark, why don't you explain it?
We're calling it the spending fast. So we don't have like a set format for this, for like how often you should do it or how many days of you should do it for. But similar to fasting when it comes to like food, would you just do a 3-day fast, right?
Yeah.
You had nothing besides water and broth or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So this is really popular in the world of health, is taking a period of time doing fasting. There's religions that do fasting, but a spending fast where during that period of time, the only thing that you're allowed to spend money on is gas and groceries. That's
essentials.
It. Yeah, just essentials. No variable expenses, nothing else. It's just essentials. And I think that you could probably do this for 5 to 7 days a month. If you look at I
think you should do it a whole month.
Or that would be crazy.
Imagine
the impact of doing that would be crazy.
So December is always a tough month for budgets because of Christmas and whatever. Apparently, it's the expensive bourbon time of year. How do you start off the new year? Great. Spending fast.
Yeah. Spending fast.
Yeah.
Feel like you're off the path.
Really bounce back.
Spending fast.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, how many budgets do you guys do with clients where you see this big surplus number that never comes to fruition?
Right. Just infinite amount.
Doing a spending fast, whether for a whole month, like Nate's saying, or like you're probably going to achieve a way bigger surplus in that month. But if you do it for a week, a month, let's say, you're probably going to come pretty damn close to that surplus number way more often than you were before.
Yeah. And I think, too, for people who really maybe struggle with changing spending habits, this could be huge for you, because if you actually did it, you're going to, for the first time ever, maybe see more money in your bank account than you've ever had. And that might be the thing you needed to finally be motivated to keep this thing going.
Yeah.
So I love that idea.
That's a challenge.
Everyone listening to this should think about when's the last time they didn't swipe their card for more than a certain amount of days.
No, wait, are you talking about outside of groceries, food, gas, essentials?
Not dining out, that doesn't count.
But groceries.
No dining out.
You need food, right?
Yeah, the stuff you need, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In an ideal world, I've been thinking about this with the new baby coming in, is we have a ton of food in our house, in the freezer that I would love to take a week or two. It's probably hard to go for more than a week, but we're only allowed to eat food that's in our house.
Dude, Nicole and I have done that a few times. It's actually kind of fun.
You just got to get. I did it the other day. Monday, I did it.
Yeah,
it was hilarious.
And you're looking in your cupboard, and you're coming up with ideas. Okay, I got this. All right, cool. I can make a dinner out of that.
I found frozen meatballs from Omaha Steaks. Okay, Omaha Steaks frozen meatballs from, I don't even know. They could have been 5 years old as far as I know. I found a jar of Rouse marinara sauce.
Perfect.
And we had some Parmesan cheese and sauce. So I just kind of whipped some sauce up. We had pasta in the house, and I made those frozen meatballs, and it was incredible, by the way. The meatballs were amazing. So if you've never had Omaha Steaks meatballs, they are actually amazing.
Yeah.
Shockingly. But I want to do that more often, just because shit just piles up in your freezer.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. But anyway, spending fast.
Spending fast.
It could also even be you just pick one category that you're not going to spend on for an entire month.
Yeah. No dining out for a month.
Yeah,
that's a
your
great
big
place
thing
to start.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not going to buy
100%.
any.
No shopping. No
clothes.
Amazon.
Yeah, no merchandise purchases for an entire month.
That would feel so good. I'm gonna do this.
We should come up with a calendar. You don't buy these things for an entire month, and each month of the year we have a different one that you don't buy.
That's interesting.
I think I'm gonna commit to the one category for like 2 weeks.
What would be your category? Wait, let me guess. Yeah, what do you even spend your money on?
That water bottle.
That's an investment though. That doesn't count.
I don't know. I got to think about this, but
Spending fast. That's it. Those are the habits. Let's review them. These are the 3 habits. If you build these in 2024, you will be successful. Habit 1, automation and pay yourself first. Habit 2, for the whole year, track your finances, know your scoreboard, do the monthly finance meeting. Habit 3, overwhelm your senses with positive money talk. Set up your environment to succeed. And then the bonus challenge, the spending fast. If you do these in 2024, our 36 years of expertise guarantees growth.
Yep.
36 years is crazy.
How could it
All
not?
controllable.
All controllables.
It's controllable.
You guys got anything to add?
No.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. All right. Thank you guys for listening and watching the Max Your Dash podcast. We will catch you in the next one.